Hey y'all, come on in. Let's see what's happening in today's video.
So I have been asked, what are the things that we enjoy about living in our camper and what we don't enjoy living in our camper? When I asked my husband this question, he said he misses being able to take a shower. Now you might think, ew, you guys aren't showering? No, that's not the case. We have, our insurance pays for our gym membership. We take showers at the gym or at my kids' place because although we have running water, we don't have a hot water heater. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to look at you guys, but it creeps people out when I do that. Anyway, moving on. He misses being able to soak in a tub, and due to the problems with his neuropathy in his legs. We have a bathtub, but again, we don't have a hot water heater. What I miss is being able to throw a load of laundry. My shoulder's bothering me today, y'all, sorry. I miss being able to throw a load of laundry in the washing machine and go to bed. And then the next time I get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, switch the laundry from the washing machine to the dryer. We live in a camper. There's no washing machine facilities near us, so I have to either go to a laundromat, or like I did this past week, I went to my cousin's and I spent the night there doing a month's worth of laundry. Good thing we have lots of clothes. We also miss being closer to home, closer to the kids, I should say. Where we live at, we are 35 minutes with regular traffic flow from our trailer door to the door to the building where my children live, because both my kids live in the same building, different apartments. We are 35 minutes. That's if there's no traffic on the mountain highway, which is Highway 12, which we live right off of Highway 12, and there's no slowdowns on I-5. If we go through town, it takes us an extra 10 minutes instead of getting on the interstate. 6 of one, half a dozen of another. So those are the things that we miss. Being able to take a shower in the middle of the night, or a bath in the middle of the night, throwing on a load of laundry in the middle of the night, and being closer to town. What we love about being in our camper is, we live, I use the term middle of nowhere, but we don't actually live in the middle of nowhere. We are actually just 300 or 400 feet from the lake, Lake Mayfield. And it's very quiet. I think there are 10 of us, 10 campers, if that, that are permanent residents. And we never see our neighbors. We might see the guy one space over from us in passing. And we might see the manager if she drives by. And that's it. The dogs don't like being in such close quarters, so we walk them every 3.5 to 4 hours, just so that they get the exercise that they need. We take Bailey to the park by the lake, and we just put her on a 25 or 50 foot lead, and just kind of let her roam, just so she gets the big dog energy out of her, because she's only 4. So, but that's what we really, miss. We enjoy the fact that it's quiet. We enjoy the fact that we don't have to worry about crapping $1,500 to $2,000 every month. That's just. Sorry, my shoulders hurt today. So that used to be rent at $800. The power bill could run anywhere from $180 to almost $500. It just depends on what we run, because the house had a fireplace which we could not use because the inside needed to be relined. It had a gas wood stove kind of thing, but the igniter went out on it, so it took 30 minutes to keep pushing the button until it would catch to light the propane fire. And then upstairs, there were built-in heaters upstairs on the walls. And those we didn't run because the wiring in the house is original to the house. The house was built in, I think we found that it was built in 1917 or 1918. So it's 100 years old. The original sections of the house are 100 years old. Where our room used to be the front porch, and they moved the door. Okay. Now we're in motion, so the camera's going to do this. So, the things, I think I left off with the things that we enjoy. Again, it's very quiet. The house where we lived at, even though we lived by 75 apartments, it was really not loud. It wasn't, whenever there was a disturbance where we didn't hear anything, typically, unless, they blare sirens past the house, then we'd get up and go look. That's how we saw the fire at the apartments, that's been 2 years now, a year and a half now, something like that. So, I miss being able to get up, or somebody getting up and throwing a little laundry in the washing machine, and then again in the dryer in the middle of the night, because we didn't have to worry about, oh, do the kids have laundry in the machine? Because they don't live there anymore. So, and then, like I said, Chris said that the thing that he misses most is being able to get up in the middle of the night or what have you and take a shower at the camper, right?
Yep.
So, and then the other thing that we, like I said, we miss is being closer to town. And we've been without a car since last Friday, today's the 30th. Today's the 30th? Yeah. Yes, I use my nose. I use my nose to type. It's funny. Not all the time, but I use my nose. So, this Friday, tomorrow, right? Today's Thursday. Today's Wednesday. Alrighty then. Yeah, today's Wednesday. Sorry. So what we used to have to pay a month was the $800 for rent. Again, we're in the car, sorry. And just pickup truck rides really, really rough. $800 for rent. The power bill could run anywhere from $180 to almost $500. Like I said, it just depended on what time of the year and how many people lived in the house. In the summer, running only one air conditioner, we could get it down to $180. In the wintertime, we had to have electric heat that plugged into the wall because the wall heaters didn't do the job. We couldn't heat the living room because the fireplace was needing to be relined, and it really needed a new gas heater, propane gas heater, or regular gas heater. Plus the power, the power included the water. We've had a water leak for almost 2.5 years. And you might be wondering, well, why didn't you tell the landlord? We did, multiple times with multiple problems. We would tell him, and then he would, quote unquote, supposed to tell his wife, and vice versa. Well, when we would mention, oh, well, so-and-so or so-and-so didn't tell me that. So, we lived with the water leak, which ran the bill up. An entire section of the house was out of power in the walls. The living room, which was under my son's room, and the light fixture was in the ceiling, was a good 6 feet from the outer edge of the house, but it would leak. Like, when it would rain, it would leak, and we don't understand how that came about. So we just disconnected the light because we really just didn't want to take a chance of, electrocuting someone or starting a fire. And we had, behind us used to be a wooded lot, and all of the little woodland creatures, once they cut that all down, there was no place for the field mice, etc. to go except for in someone's home. We would tell the landlord, hey, we need to have an exterminator or something, that they could put down something outside. That way we wouldn't take a chance of the dogs getting a hold of it and killing one of the dogs. Needless to say, it never happened. The oven went out. The stovetop worked, kind of. So we just got a little toaster oven. And we had been dealing with plumbing problems since 2015. They sent a plumber out once. And the plumber, I am a plump woman, and I make no bones about that. The man was bigger than me. And to get to where he needed to be, you have to squeeze into this little opening that's less than 2 foot by 2 foot. My husband, before he started losing weight and before his stroke, had a hard time getting under the house. And he wasn't wasn't a big man, you know. So the guy couldn't get in to look under the house to see, you know, what the plumbing problem was. Again, the plumbing is original and it's cast iron. So, I know this lighting is so flattering, y'all. So we had to deal with that, and it became just a pain in the ass to deal with. We're kind of dealing with the same issue in the bathroom in the camper, but that's an easy fix. It just needs the tank dropped and the tank, you know, pressure washed clean, and it should be fine. You know, but that's a repair we are responsible for making, and we have been making several repairs to the camper. It's a 40-year-old camper. And you think about that in terms of quality back in the day. Back in the day, things like, sorry, I'll have to deal with the light. It was, you know, it's things that we have to deal with in a 40-year-old camper. We only have 15 amp breakers, which means that you can't run the electric heater and the microwave. It'll blow the circuit. We've learned how to get around that. You turn the heater off to run the microwave. Just don't forget to turn the heater back on. The refrigerator is plugged in to the outside of the camper. No, it's plugged into the bathroom now. It's not designed to handle that type of draw, so we have to be careful where it's plugged in at. The original refrigerator is not the original refrigerator. The refrigerator that was in it originally had probably been changed a decade or so ago, but the refrigerator that's in it we use for dry storage. And we just have a refrigerator, a little tiny refrigerator plugged in and sitting in what's supposed to be the closet. And the things that we do have that hang are already hung up in storage. So, and then we had food bill, etc. So, even though I get a very, very, very skimpy bit of food stamps, I get $70 in food stamps, and I can feed an army on that. But living out in the camper, we can't buy like enough meat for a week because the refrigerator isn't very tiny. It also prevents us from buying ice cream. Since we've been out in Mossy Rock, we've been eating cleaner, less junk. Yesterday was the first time in a couple of weeks, that we had anything fast food. And I had a crunchy taco, he had a soft taco. That was what we had for lunch. And then when we got home, we stopped at Walmart and got a roast chicken, some potato salad, and some baked beans because I didn't feel like cooking. And we don't use propane in the camper. That's a story for another day. So I use my Instapot. We have a cooktop, and we have the rice cooker and the microwave, and that gets us by. So we have to put a half gallon of milk at a time in the refrigerator, so we still use the ice chest outside to keep yogurt and stuff like that colder. So, but all in all, I like living in the camper. What about you? You want to tell them what your thing is? He's driving. And he hates being on camera, in case you guys have never noticed that. Back to our car. We bought a car 2 weeks ago now, give or take. And it ran fine the first day and a half. We went out to Yelm for a ride, which is 30 minutes from Australia. And it's still in a northwesterly motion like we are, but a couple of 100 miles between us, I guess. And he decided he was going to get on the interstate to get us home quicker instead of going the back road. Well, it started running hot. So we pulled over in town and called the guy we bought the car from. Well, it's a lot. And a lot of people are like, ooh, used car lot. Guy is, no. This guy took the business over from his stepdad. His stepdad was an asshole, and I'll be just plain and simple about it. He was. But the guy that has it now really wants to build a good community, and he doesn't want to, lose business, because if you don't fix the vehicles or don't help the client out, blah, blah, blah. Well, because we had only had the car a week, he was like, just bring it in and I'll look at it. So we brought it in, and he thought, well, maybe it was the radiator hose that goes from the radiator to the reservoir. So they took that off and put it back on. That was the problem. So they thought maybe it was dripping water onto the engine from a leak. That doesn't seem to be the issue either. The bad thing about this particular guy's car lot, and it's not him, his mechanic is chronically ill. So last week he was out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday he only worked part of the day. And we were supposed to know something about the car yesterday. The guy wasn't at work yesterday. So, in the meantime, we are without a vehicle of our own. Right now, we borrow Christy's pickup truck because it runs and it gets us from point A to point B. We don't like driving it because, as you can see, it rides a little rough. And it's a little small GM pickup truck, but it's been custom lowered, and to have it put back in its right height is worth it. Not much space for it. And it's a standard, and Chris hates driving a standard. So he should tell you who taught him how to drive a standard.
Nobody did.
I also tell both my kids how to drive. I used to drive. I started driving a long time ago. The last long road trip I did was, we were going to St. Augustine, Florida, and he had just gotten off work, and he worked on tugboat, so he worked 12-hour days, and we decided, we hadn't gone anywhere for our honeymoon. We decided we were going to go just take a ride to Florida. The goal was supposed to be Disney World. That didn't happen that trip. We ended up in St. Augustine, Florida, and we spent a week and a half there with our chihuahuas. So he had gotten off work that morning and had everything packed. All I had to do was stow it in the car. And we get into the Florida Panhandle, and he's starting to nod off. And I was like, do you want me to drive? And he's like, you want to drive? And I was like, well, I'd rather us live than for you to go to sleep at the wheel. So he wakes up about 2.5 hours later, and he looks over at the speedometer, and he goes, wife? And I went, yes. And he goes, do you realize that you're doing, what was I doing, 110? Do you realize you're doing 110? And I went, yeah, I'm just keeping up with the flow of the trucks, which is, the rule I was taught, keep up with the flow of traffic. So I was just cruising. And he was like, could you slow down just a little? And I was like, okay, so I slow down a little bit. He goes back to sleep. He wakes up a little while later. I'm doing 110 again. The Florida Panhandle, there's nothing. So, you know, with 18-wheelers and cars. So, but I got us to, what is it, the A1A, or whatever it is that runs along the Florida coast. And he was like, all right, I'll drive. I was like, okay. So we kind of just drove until we were tired of sitting in the car, and we ended up in St. Augustine's, Florida. And that is where the obsession with lighthouses started for Chris. It was nautical, it was related to ships, and he got to go into his first lighthouse. We had to climb 115 steps to the top of that sucker, and we did it. I don't think we could do it now without like having to let people walk past us, because it takes us a minute to get up the stairs at my son's place. So this has been kind of all over the place, and I apologize for that. Sorry, not sorry. So I'm gonna edit this and have it upload tonight, and it'll be live for you tomorrow.
The word is pronounced lanyap. A little bit extra just for y'all. If you'd like to skip to the end and bypass all of this, the time code will be in the description below. While out on our way to I thought I would show you a little bit of the drive. Hubz got me a new camera for vlogging like this, so it's a dash cam. So I hope to set that up soon.
stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Because you never know when I'll upload my next video. Bye, guys.
Again, thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments what else you'd like to see. Y'all know the drill. Subscribe if you haven't. Ring the bell so you know. And we'll see you in our next video. Bye, guys.